2nd of December 2025, and the time is clocked 42 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. Greetings to you, the lovely GIC viewers and listeners within and beyond the borders of the Republic of Namibia, and a very warm welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the information sharing session. As always, we are coming to you live from the Government Information Center studio here in the heart of the nation's capital, Windhoek. For this morning's episode, I will be your host, Helene Philippus Hamunyela. And alongside my studio guests, we will be keeping you company for the next 40 minutes or so. Now on the menu this morning, we are talking leveraging career assessment and responsible social media use to strengthen digital well-being. And I am joined in the studio by a team of well-versed representatives from the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations. However, as is the norm, before I can officially welcome them on the platform, I'd like to pause here and extend a warm invitation to you, Namibia, to be part of this discussion by following this conversation on our social media platforms, where we are currently streaming this show live. Now on Facebook, we are at Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, or alternatively, you can stream us live on our YouTube channel, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. Be part of this conversation and add your voice to this conversation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome my studio guest for this morning. I am joined on my immediate left by Ms. Oletu Nakambo. She is a chief psychologist in the Ministry of Justice, Labor Relations. Good morning, Ms. Nakambo, and welcome back to the GIC.
Thank you, Ms.
Hamunyela.
Hamunyela.
Right.
It's good to be back.
Right, thank you. Of course, next to her is Ms. Liesl Boyce, and she is a psychologist in the same ministry. Ms. Boyce, good morning and welcome to the GIC.
Good morning, Ms. Hamunyela, and all viewers. Thank you.
Right. And lastly, we are joined by Ms. Daniela Kandundu. She is an intern or psychological counselor in the same ministry. Good morning, Ms. Kandundu, and welcome to the GIC.
Good morning, Ms. Hamunyela. Thank you for having us today.
Right. Thank you. Now, for the benefit of the viewers and listeners, as we kickstart this discussion, Ms. Nakambo, briefly talk to us what vocational counseling services is and the background thereof, of course.
Well, Vocational Counseling Services is a subdivision within the Department of Labor in the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations. Vocational Counseling Services has been in the government for many years. It's always been there since independence. And I think at some time in the 2000, it defunct, but it was revived in 2003. Within then the old ministries, I think it was Ministry of Labor then also.
Okay.
So yeah, it's nationwide, and we have services in the country, and people can access it. So it's accessible, but we do have some challenges, I think, that we will talk about later.
As the show unfolds.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Nakambo, for that background. Now, Ms. Boyce, what is the mandate of Vocational Counseling Services Subdivision? Because I understand it is a subdivision within the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations.
Yes, thank you, Hamunyela. I think it's very important. Vocational Counseling Services is a subdivision under the Employment Services Division.
Okay.
Within the Labor Market Services in the Ministry of Labor, Justice and Labor Relations,
Okay.
as we are known now. Our core mandate as Vocational Counseling Services is that we provide career counseling and guidance to learners from school level, students at university level, the unemployed,
Okay.
and also the employed.
All right.
We also conduct psychometric assessments to help these individuals make informed decisions about their careers.
Okay.
So overall, we also collaborate with different stakeholders, such as schools, universities, to provide more information on careers and also on our function within the ministry. The purpose thereof is for us to have a wholesome coverage and to make sure that people know nationally as much as we can to share the information with them.
Right.
So overall, we provide the tools and the knowledge for learners, for students, for individuals in general to make informed decisions so that their careers are more sustainable and suitable, whatever they want to follow.
All right.
So, yeah.
Now, for students or learners that are now watching from wherever they are finding themselves this morning, and they are interested in the services that you offer, is there perhaps some sort of cost implications that are involved to render your services?
Very important question, and thank you for posing that. Viewers, Ms. Hamuniela, everybody, the services is a government institution. It's coming from a government institution. So the services are completely free.
Right.
But for the employed, there is a small fee. For people who are already employed,
Right.
there is a fee of $25.
Just $25.
Yes, and that stems over all our services that we render.
Okay.
So that will be psychometric assessment for everything. That is your consultation fee of $25.
All right. Okay. Quite affordable if you ask me, because you did mention it's for the employed. It's 25 Namibian dollars.
Yes. And the rest, we do not charge any fee. It's
All right.
entirely free.
Okay. Thank you so much for that clarity. Now, Ms. Kandundu, who can access your services, and are your services available nationwide?
Thank you for that question. Like Ms. Boyce mentioned, our service is a public service. Hence, it is available to any interested persons, especially for job seekers, learners, students, as well as employed people who may want to change their careers and would want guidance. Also, any other ministry officers that may want to use our services for recruitment and selection. And our services are available across the country in different regions. Just to name a few towns, we have offices in Keetmanshoop,
Okay.
Mariental, Hobabas, Swakopmund, Otapi, and Nana, as well as Rundu.
Okay. So basically, where the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations is, your footprints are because you are under that ministry, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Now, Ms. Nakambo, of course, for the benefit of the viewers and listeners, I'd like to find out how or what assessment tools do you use in career counseling?
Yes, thank you again for that question. We mostly use, we use different tools.
Right.
So we normally use, interest questionnaires or interest tests. And the interest test is basically based on what is the individual interested in terms of the world of work, in terms of different fields, or the different fields that are out there. If it's for a learner, what subjects maybe attracts them the most. So we assess that and to help, through the process. And we also use personality questionnaires or personality tests. So this assesses your attitudes, and your behavior, or how you react in different environments, because you might react differently in different work situation or work environments.
Right.
And we also look at then your potential. What is your innate potential? Or what other people may call aptitude.
Right.
Yeah, so we assess what you are naturally good at. For instance, if in your community, it's well known, it could be known that this, when you observe children playing or you observe adolescents playing, you can see this person is very good with this. Naturally, and then if you add education, then they even excel.
They will
so
thrive, yes.
yes,
Okay.
so we use those combination of tests, and we also do a one-on-one interview just to get background information about your schooling background, any other challenges that you might have had in primary school or high school or any other you know, and also we also assess to see whether that tool is, if the tools that we are using or the assessment tools we are using are suitable for you, because for some people it might not be suitable for them. So we would use other methods that is more, that would be more on their side, more advantageous to their needs. So basically, in a nutshell, we only look at the interest, your personality, and your aptitude or your natural ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Ms. Nakambo, you know, as you were busy expressing yourself, I couldn't help but wonder, you know, for the, or maybe let me rephrase this question as such. Have you had a situation whereby you've actually rendered services or service to certain individuals that you've actually, you know, advised on? You were very good at just by running your tests that, as you earlier indicated, these tools that you normally use, they actually, these individuals actually take is it ideas that you've given them, and then they change careers into that. Has this ever happened?
Yes, we had some individuals that had contacted us, that had come maybe distressed, that they are not sure what they want to study, or they are not happy where they are at, or maybe they are just from school straight and they are having conflicting decisions with maybe what they want and what the parent want. So in that cases, we had some people that had come forward so that they say, okay, if we are debating about where I'm good at, and it's mother and daddy and the child, they said, okay, let's get some informed decision. Let's make let's consult labor, employment services, and see where I stand, and so that we can make an informed decision and, you know, resolve this conflict. Okay. So it has happened, and we had someone, I think I don't know where he's working now, but he did contact our colleague that he's very, very happy that he went through the process, and he's excelling, and he's very happy at what he's doing, because he went through this process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good to know.
Yeah, we did get some feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I love that very much, because I'm just here thinking, I think you would really do good at Career Fest. I think you need to start setting up, if you haven't done it already, to then render your services there. But also, I think visiting institutions, because even in institutions, we have people that are misplaced, kind of, you know, because my friend was studying nursing, then I thought, I'm also good at nursing, but then I can't stand blood. So, but then you went through with it, because at that particular time, that's the only option that you had. I appreciate your services, actually, but I think we need to put it to good, even better use for the benefit of the nation, because I believe it is very essential.
Yeah, if I might just add, yes, it is very essential, because it's I would say that at Career Fairs, we would give information. We would give information about, we do go to Career Fairs and Trade Fairs, and we do give information there about where they can find us. Because unless the fair has got an auditorium which is completely, let me say, it's
detached?
No, it doesn't have noise. Like it's soundproof. If there's an auditorium which is soundproof within the Career Fair, during the Career Fair, we could possibly conduct assessments there. However, it has to be very conducive. If it's not conducive, we can't. Yeah, because there are some standards that should be met for the process to start.
Take place.
So we can't just do it in anywhere. So at Career Fair, we try as much to just give information about where they can access the services. We contact the teachers, the life skills teacher, the parents, whoever is visiting our store, so that they can, they can make a call. Normally, they have to make a call that they would want to make an appointment, and then we will call them back to give them an appointment. So you don't just walk in and get these assessments done. You need
It's
Yeah.
by appointment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for clarifying and for providing that important information, Ms. Nakambo. Very highly appreciated. And now, Ms. Boyce, how does your subdivision, VCS, as it's affectionately known, add value nationally?
Nationally, we support human development or human capital development
Okay.
by helping individuals make informed decisions about their employability.
Okay.
Hence, at the same time, we increase chances of employability within the Namibian nation as people, when they do go through this process of career counseling, psychometric assessment, they find out more about themselves. So the decisions they make about their careers can sustain them over a longer period of time.
Okay.
In the process, we also reduce, for example, things such as school or university dropouts, because people are happy and they are tested in what they are studying.
Right.
So they find themselves durable and not prone to dropping out while studying. And we also promote accessibility to information with regards to your career. So that is our contribution in a nutshell from the vocational counseling services side.
All right. I can just imagine how much more you could excel, especially at the universities, tertiary education or tertiary institutions, because I know, for example, when I was studying, I had not students from other faculties who found themselves dropping out because, like I said earlier, my friend is doing geology now. I am also doing geology, but I'm not good with maths. So in the second year, I have to drop out, and because it's not naturally where I belong. I think, but it was mentioned here that you do offer such services. So I believe it's a good one as well, so that money is not wasted, resources, time, and all that. It's appreciated.
Yeah, yeah. If I may add, I think the service is also, it helps with, you know, like you said, people might drop out. Or Ms. Boyce said people might drop out. So it helps with, you know, from the get-go.
Yeah.
You already plan your financial resources on how much you're going to spend on education. So it also saves on finances. So because if you have a youth or a child who's changing courses because they did it, like you said, they just did it because their friend were doing that, or it was cool to do science and not cool to do social science, but your interest is more in the social sciences, or is more in your potential is more in the social sciences, and you just went to the science because it was cool, and you later found you are frustrated. So if you go through this process before you go to tertiary institution, which could be technical or it could be universities, it saves time and it saves money.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it also helps with skill mismatch, this whole process.
Thank
So
you
it's a very, very important process, especially for
School leavers.
For school leavers, and even if you, and for people who are employed and they feel like they are stagnated, and what else can you do? Maybe if you want to move forward, and this is a very good process to go through, and it's very helpful.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just here thinking, how many psychologists do we have now in this department that can help? Because for a population of 3 point how many millions now at this particular time, but of course the employable ones, or the students, or the learners that may be approaching your offices, how many psychologists do we have at the moment, Ms. Nakambo?
Well, currently in the division of employment services, we only have 3 psychologists that are employed currently, two of us in Windhoek, Ms. Boyce and I, and then our other colleague is based in Ondangwa.
Okay.
And then we have psychological counselors.
Okay.
And we have a psychological counselor like what Daniela had already said in those towns. I think in total, the staff complement currently is only 13.
Okay.
And we have 2 vacancies that are not filled, which is Katima Mulilo and Kate Mansoup.
Okay.
We hope to recruit in the next year when the financial year starts.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get someone out there. And the career is also, we don't have many people training. For instance, we might have graduates that have graduated with the Bachelor of Psychology or Psychology single major that need to move on to the master's program because they can only practice once they've done the master's. So I think there's a big need in the country in terms of career counseling and in terms of mental health. And that's why we brought in the topic of digital well-being.
Nice.
But so yes, there's a shortage actually. We are it's a skeleton on the ground, like we say. We'll talk about the challenges later, but yes, we are not many. In total, the staff complement as we speak, we are 13
Okay.
for a population of I don't know how many people school-going age.
Yes.
Because I think career guidance, you can start from grade 6,
Right.
you can come search for career guidance. So imagine from grade 6 to university and the employed and the unemployed.
Yeah.
The complement to the people that need the service.
Yeah.
There's a big shortage.
Right.
So we need to invest in human capital in terms of training.
Right.
Yes.
No, thank you, Ms. Nakamba. Now, speaking of which, you've briefly touched on challenges. I just want you to dwell more now on challenges. Talk to us about some of the challenges that you have encountered through these processes and at this subdivision.
Well, the main challenges is that we have noticed that people in the rural Namibia are not aware of the service beside the career fairs.
Right.
Maybe it's because the career fairs are maybe still done in big towns, major regional towns. And and people from rural areas also have difficulty accessing our services. I think because, like I said, we are thin on the ground,
Right.
and we do go to rural schools and rural communities, but it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge really because we are thin on the ground, and people seem not to be also aware of the services. And we hope platforms like this, people if they are listening on radio in their local languages, vernacular, I think this will help spread the news and the information.
Right.
Yes.
Because, Ms. Boyce, I was going to ask you this next question to say, what can we probably do to ensure awareness is created about these very important services that is provided by this subdivision?
Very important. I think from our side, we need to work on strengthening outreach into our rural areas nationwide. But one of our challenges are obviously that of a small staff component.
Right.
We also need to work and collaborate more with stakeholders, the important stakeholders such as the schools. We do currently do that, but we can do more on that as well. Another thing that is also very important is assistance. We would like to assist the unemployed more.
Right.
The unemployed are experiencing obviously social, psychological problems due to being unemployed. So some of our services that we have at Vocational Counseling Services for them is we actually get them from the employment services system, and they indicate that they would like to come for career counseling and for career guidance, for example. But something that is very pertinent is that when people are experiencing unemployment, when we experience any type of a feeling of failure or we did not make it in the world, we feel so isolated in what we are going through. what we do at Vocational Counseling Services is to provide counseling, especially in group format, where people learn about the hardships that they are experiencing in a group setup, if they would like to join a group, or individual setup, where we just process feelings, where we process experiences of what they are going through. And what we've realized is, especially when we work within a group setup, that it is quite positive. The results are quite positive as well, because people feel that they are not the only one. I am not the only one
Right.
going through this.
Right.
And what we also do is we look at coping mechanisms, how we can help and what can help, or mechanisms that can help them cope through these hard times of unemployment.
Right.
We also look at things such as life skills. We provide life skills training to them as well. We look at building self-esteem, you know, topics such as that, where we look at the person to help to strengthen the person as such. And we provide that support, and we look at exploring, for example, what type of, in the absence of not finding employment, how can they build themselves in the meantime?
Right.
You know, setting up their own little business, for example. We hone into their natural skills, their abilities coming from the test as well, and we help them to see that and see that, oh, I've actually got managerial skills, or I've got marketing skills, or I got sales skills. So let me hone into it and start a small business, for example. So it's a process where people are not left designated and isolated.
Right.
And I really encourage everybody that are job seekers nationally, nationwide, please come and use the services at
Make use of the
Vocational
services.
Counseling Services. We need you there. So I think it's a good thing for us to do such outreach platforms to reach more people.
Right. Now, I believe it's such a great initiative, especially like you've mentioned something so important, that once, especially for the unemployed, you feel the void, you feel you failed, you may feel like a failure, but there is somebody that is pouring into your almost empty cup, you know, pouring life into you to say that you're not useless. You can actually do this to better yourself while you find something that you can work on. I believe that is a very important initiative, and one that is crucial for this country, actually.
Ms. Amanyela, just to add also onto that is that we also need to look at the emerging markets or the
Right.
industries that we have. You know, we have the oil industry.
The green hydrogen.
Yes, and we need to, I think that people steer more at times to careers that seem more updated in fashion. So from our side as a section as well, we give quite attention, and we need to strengthen it. I think we can just improve on certain things to say that the emerging industries, we are very strong on trying to get the message across.
Right.
For example, you know, technical training, you know, draftsmen, people in IT, those are important careers that people need to follow. Vocational, technical
Yeah,
types of
training
training, electricians, they play very important roles when it comes to setting up, for example, a plant or a refinery in the mining industry, whether it is an oil plant or a zinc plant. We need to understand that the technical people play a very important role when it comes to the future of emerging industries.
Absolutely.
And we are really working on strengthening that.
Absolutely, Ms. Boyce.
Yeah,
That
and,
is very crucial and important. Yes, Ms.
So
Nakamba?
if I may add, we also have a book, we are updating a book, Careers in Namibia, which is another source that the public or the clients can access, whether a learner, a parent, unemployed or employed. So, and we have also highlighted careers in demand within the book. So when it becomes accessible next year, you know, they can access it online. We hope we put it online, and it will be accessible, and they can also get copies from our ministry when we finally print, because we are still in the process. So, yeah.
Right. Ms. Nakambo, I hope this copy would also include some overrated, is it overrated, or some industries such as the education and the nurses, because sometimes the institutions produce more than is, you know, accumulated, that can the number that can be accumulated. Maybe that should also sort of be reflected in there, so that at the moment then the school leavers can concentrate on other industries that are not, you know, overly saturated, if I can, for lack of a better word.
Yes, I think the industry, some of the industry have indicated that they are really in need of technicians, like Ms. Boyce has indicated that they are mostly in need, like the mines. They've indicated that they are very much in need of technicians, and I think also a lot of, because of the green hydrogen, they'll be needing a lot of welder, especially coded welder. This is a specialist. So if you are into technical, or if you are technically inclined, you could think about, you know, getting into welding and getting, you know, become a coded welder. So of course, and the ministries have, some of them have indicated that they need specialists in maybe medical specialists, certain specialists, not just a general practitioner, and specialists like specialist nurses, and they will need specialist therapists. So yeah, it's highlighted in the book. We did indicate it. So yes, we hope it will be of use and to the public.
Of course, it will be of great essence, and I look forward to that copy myself, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Namibia, if you are just tuning in, you are tuned into an information sharing session. And as earlier mentioned, this morning we are talking leveraging career assessment and a responsible social media use to strengthen digital well-being. Now, you too can be part of this discussion by following this conversation on our social media platforms, where we are currently streaming this show live. Now, on Facebook, we are at Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, or you can stream us live on our YouTube channel, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. I urge you to be part of this conversation. Now, as we continue with our discussion in the studio, Ms. Boyce, are there any further plans or future plans for the division?
Yes. I think we kind of touched on it.
Okay, briefly.
Yes.
Okay.
I think if we are saying that part of our mandate is to make our services more accessible, and promote accessible services towards career guidance and counseling, I think it would just be fair to say that we need to look at strategies on how to enlarge our territory, so to say, our blueprint, and reach out more into the rural areas.
And your footprints in all the regions.
Exactly, exactly. We do not want to leave any Namibian child unattended in this. It's very important that we touch as many children, because we start already from grade 6 to engage. Children can already start engaging, and it's very important that children engage earlier in their school years, to start knowing about careers and not, you know, sleep on it.
Right.
And because it will just help them to know, that just have an idea on the careers or the types of work, and that will help forge them into a certain direction.
Absolutely.
With the help of us as counselors and as psychologists.
Of course.
Yes, so it's also very important for us as professionals to stay updated in terms of our learning and development. ethically by the Health Professions Council. We should
Right.
always have training, and we try to also stay updated when it comes to training and new developments within our sphere that we're working in.
Right. All right. No, thank you so much, Ms. Boyce, for that information. Now, briefly, I'd like to shift gears to digital well-being and the use of social media. And who best to actually provide this insight, right, than the Gen Zs themselves, right? Now, Ms. Kadundu, I haven't forgotten about you, and I'd like to find out from you, how exactly do you define digital well-being? And whilst that, does it simply mean a less screen, or is it more about quality of the time spent?
Thank you very much for that question. I think it is an important topic for us to touch on since we live in a digital world.
Right.
And hence it is important for us to know the importance of digital well-being. So digital well-being refers to the state of one's mental, emotional, and physical health in relation to how we use digital technologies, such as smartphones, the internet, as well as social media.
Okay.
So digital well-being also means having a balanced and healthy relationship with social media. And good digital well-being means we have to use social media with a purpose to inform us, for us to stay connected as well as to be creative, rather than using it for destructive purposes,
Bullying, cyberbullying and whatnot.
such as cyberbullying and so forth.
Okay. No, thank you for that. For that information, because I'm sitting here thinking, really, do most young people really understand what it really means to? Because social media can also make you, but if not well utilized, it can then break you. Like we said, like you've rightfully mentioned, not using it for cyberbullying and whatnot, but to use it creatively to maybe create a broader reach for your platform if you have a business, or to engage more, to educate, to entertain, and a lot more. Thank you so much, Ms. Kadundu, for that information. Now, Ms. Boyce, does social media affect adolescents alone or an adult differently? Because I understand that different users use different medias or content differently. What